I got a partner who come home from 25 years in prison. His whole 25 years, he dreamed of the day what it would be like when he got free. But now that he's free, he's struggling with adapting to a world that he only fantasized about. What happened when the fantasy doesn't meet expectation and the expectation don't meet reality? Freedom, opportunity, history, opportunity. What happens when God lets you free, but he doesn't give you direction? What happens when all you've known is bondage? And now that you are free, you now wish you were back in bondage. History, opportunity, the dichotomy of the two. The fruits of freedom, Jose. That's where the fruits of freedom come in at. So I want to take us back for a second, Jose. I want to talk about Ruth right quick, Jose, as we get into this, right? Because when we think about Ruth, I don't want us to just think about a woman. I want us to think about redemption. I want us to think about a lineage, and I want us to think about inheritance. Redemption. We're talking about a woman that lost her husband. We're talking about a woman that had no guidance. And in that time, guidance, protection from a man was important. Okay, like right now we got women that won't be independent, so they might don't think they need the guidance, right? But we talking about a time where if you didn't have a man as protection, you were, I want to talk about this story being fruit for a generation. She married Boaz, who comes from the tribe of Judah. Boaz is directly linked so now marrying Boaz now puts her a part of a royal bloodline. Redemption. They have a son, Obed, lineage. He's the grandfather of David, lineage, the first king of Israel. Lineage now goes into inheritance. Why? Because Obed, now we get Jesse, who is now the father of David, who is now direct descendant to who? The Messiah. But none of this is possible without who? Ruth, who just decided to be loyal to who? Naomi. Who gave her what? Guidance. So now we're talking about having guidance and being obedient when you have guidance. And then your obedience over the years now works out to be redemption, lineage, and inheritance. I'm talking about the fruits of freedom. We gotta talk about the importance here. Like you listening and you thinking about, I lost this. What happens when you lose a critical component to your livelihood, but you still gotta be obedient and you still gotta be loyal? Without Ruth, we don't even get 27. We don't get 27 books of the Bible. We don't even get 20. Without her, we don't get Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Without her, we don't get Kings. Without her, we don't get Judges. Without her, we don't get the Psalm. We don't get David. We don't get the covenant that God made to David. Hey, flesh of your flesh gonna build my. But she was what? Obedient. And in her what happens when we gotta be obedient after we've taken the biggest loss of our life? Okay, let me say that again. What happens, Jose, when we gotta be obedient, when we've taken the biggest loss of our life. We talking about history and opportunity. Not woe is me. Not God, why did you do this to me? Not what did I deserve to do this? Not I'm going to kill myself. No. Obedient. Obedient. History and opportunity. From the beginning, God gave Adam an assignment. Fruitful, multiply, have dominion. Never once did he say, be lazy. Never once did he say, be broke. In fact, he said in Proverbs 10:4, diligent hands build wealth, lazy hands make for poverty. Investing isn't about just money. It's about planting seeds and having faith in tomorrow's harvest. It's about planting seeds and having faith in tomorrow's harvest. But there's no harvest without labor. There's no harvest without rain. But most importantly, Jose, there is no harvest without disruption. History and opportunity. Because once you put the seed in the ground, the seed disrupts the soil. But watch this. What's inside the seed, the potential, has to burst out of the seed. That in itself is disruption. There's potential inside of you, and the reason you are uncomfortable is because the potential that has been planted inside of you is dying to blossom, but you haven't found fertile ground to be fertilized in. The fruit of freedom. The fruit of freedom. There is no freedom without work. There is no freedom without sacrifice. There is no fruit without two organisms having a relationship. Jose, there is no fruit without two organisms having a relationship. Work, sacrifice, produce a harvest. Rain, sun, nurture the harvest that produced the fruit. There must be in a relationship in order for the fruit to produce. The fruit represents life. We don't judge the tree by what it say it can do. We judge the tree by the fruit that it bears. Now watch this. The tree bears the fruit. The fruit has a seed. The seed goes back in the ground. So the seed represents the recycling of life. What is the freedom? What is the fruit of the freedom that you are attempting to harvest?